to Video Blog with Miss Rennu. Today we're going to talk about how to play with your child, especially your younger children. Now you may be asking me, Miss Rennu, why would you need to teach me how to play with my child? Well, let's face it, parents, we're in a completely different generation. For example, I grew up with no cell phones and barely any TV, and I actually used to spend my time playing outside for long periods of time. My parents never had to worry about safety. But that was many moons ago, and we're not revealing that because you'll figure out how old I am, right? Nowadays, with all the gadgets in place, do kids really have real toys? Do kids really know how to play? How many kids actually play snakes and ladders or bingo anymore, the old-fashioned way? Do kids even know the meaning of a dice? Accelerated learning is a method that we have incorporated at Genius Kids Centers. It's a proven method of quick, effective learning with retention. And that's what I'm going to explain to you today. The question is not about the activities you actually are doing with your child, but how are you implementing those activities? The way you play with your child will make a huge difference in how your child can develop an independent thinker. So here we go. So tip number 1. When you introduce your child to a game, naturally we want our child to win, right? But that's not what we should be teaching our child. We need to teach children that they have to be able to get challenged a little bit. So as you proceed through the game, whether it's chess, Monopoly, whatever it is, make it a little bit more challenging. Don't make them struggle. You want to ensure success at the end of the game because children, you want to build their positive self-esteem and the willingness to learn. And if you make them lose all the time, they're going to quit that game. But what you want to do is proceed slowly and teach them the different steps. So it should be a very methodical way of learning when you're playing board games. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, try and give your child minimum help. You don't want to leave them struggling, but at the same time, you want to let them figure things out on their own. So if they make a mistake, all you simply say is, no problem, try again. Instead of, why did you do that? Why didn't you learn the first time? Did I not teach you this? These are the kind of things impatient parents tell their children. Instead, back off and encourage them to try it again. Because this will lead on in life to being able to handle problems. When you want to always step in and save your child every single time, they're never going to be able to let go of you and they're never going to be able to deal with the issues they have in life. So you want to make sure that you give them minimum help, but you guide them along. We're here as mentors, as guiders. You're not meant to hold your child's hand throughout their life. Eventually, you do need to let go. Tip number 3. I cannot tell you how much fun it is to play this game called show and tell. You show them, you tell them, and then let them show you and tell you. In other words, give them an example and then let them also try that back with you, where you're the audience and they're the teacher. Kids love being teachers. And remember, this also develops their presentation skills, which is basically public speaking and confidence, right? So show and tell. So while you're at home right now, why don't you take our little things, for example, making a roti, for example, right? The Indian roti. Roll the ball, right? Show them that first, the first step, and then show them how to roll it out. Let them do it. Give them real flour. Let them make a bit of a mess. But that's how they're going to learn. And while you're doing that, you're also developing their motor skills as well, especially for the younger children. Tip number 4, learn to give encouragement versus praise. Now you must be wondering, what is she talking about? Well, if you just say, good boy, this results in children simply doing things sometimes to only please the parent. Instead, you could say, you did a great job. Now I can see you did even better this time because you worked a little slower. Encouragement. Not simply praise. Great job, I'm going to give you a chocolate. No, big no-no. You don't have to reward everything with food and candy. Last but not least, tip number 5. In order to develop methodical thinking, give them steps to complete. This also helps with listening skills and taking direction when they get to school. The goal should not be to finish first. And that's one of the biggest problems is we want kids to finish first and say, wow, this is not a race. They need to learn the steps. So regardless whether it is a painting, coloring page, math problem, it doesn't matter what it is, let them work through the steps. This develops organization skills as well and methods of thinking, which we call methodical thinking. And please, I repeat again, Whatever you do, don't reward your children with sweets and candy. Bribery will only last so long. External motivation results in the effort disappearing while the bribe disappears. Eventually one day you're going to stop giving that candy, right? But the expectation is going to be there. Instead, reward them with maybe stickers, a good book, something that's going to be beneficial to them. I'm sure my dentist friends thank me for saying that. My art lessons at my site withmissrennu.com are a great tool to develop independent creative thinking skills. I'm not an artist by any means, but I've come up with simple methods to teach kids cartoon art, acrylic painting, really simple. So for all the artists out there, not an artist, don't claim to be one, but I've developed steps that children would love to create art in simple steps and thoroughly enjoy their masterpiece. And before I wrap up on this video blog, I'm going to leave you with this thought by Thomas Edison. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Until next time, stay safe.